Alright, I am half asleep, but let's catch Smoke's first vid in the TT Blitz tournament. So I thought it was pretty funny. I thought I played pretty decently in the TTA game and pretty badly in the TTN game against Yevon in my first round. But the TTA game, I actually completely blew. My attempted, like, ooh, I'll be clever in 3 instead of, like, generic in 5, turned a winning position. And there was a win in 3, I just played the wrong card there. Or the win in 5 worked into a losing position, but we both missed the reply in 8. So, really speaks to how chaotic this format is. And I think it's probably for the best to commit to the first move that comes to mind. So the format is you're playing a TTA game and a TTN game at the same time. Man, these are complex structures too. So the TTN game, Smokes got safety in 16, right? That's blocked in. Little hard to see on this board, I think, but luckily, we can see all cards currently available, and they're kind of fighting over the top left. This should heavily favor first turn. They got a safe card, and there's an odd number of blocks, which means how it tends to segment tends to favor first turn. So I think as long as Smokes doesn't do anything too chaotic, he should have advantages here. That's a confusing position to me. Let's look over at the TTA. So we have this kind of this 3, 6, 7, 8 type setup where usually the key pairing is the cards in 9 and 5. Vid has Cloud for both squares, while Smokes, in exchange for that, has safety in 3. And Smokes is a pretty good card to put in 5. If Vid wanted to go in 5 himself, his card in 8 would be safe, but not clear it would have enough impact. But you could imagine a move like Cloud, or maybe even Cyan in 5, saying, I'm making my card in 8 safe, and I'm creating a threat in 2, because Vid doesn't currently have a threat in 2. He goes in 4 instead, and if Smokes goes 9, Vid goes 5, he'll still get 8. While if... Okay, interesting move. A lot going on. My instinct with Smokes is go in 1 with 4A 9 5. Just take the safety. I realize that means Vid can set it up, so he will get last turn Cloud landing in either 5 or 9. But I don't know how scary that actually is. And maybe that just means it's a tie. Something like 4A 9 5 and 1, Cyan and 2 should be enough to tie here. You'll only be down 6-4. Unless I can't count and add, they can't flip Cyan. And 2. Yeah, should be enough to tie there. Smokes goes for it. And I think, again, the time pressure is such that, like, you don't know if you have to move on the other board, right? And it turns out Smokes kind of had to move on both boards. And so you want to make a move you're pretty sure of fairly quickly. And I tried to do that. I tried to do, okay, here's the normal move, but I'd have to check stuff. Here's a simpler move that I think works just as well. And I got it wrong, right? I got it really horribly wrong. But I don't mind the thought process. I think it's just a mistake you have to be willing to make sure you don't get in time trouble. And so something really interesting happened after is while Yevon was now winning, he was winning with I think a difficult to find move. And with 4 moves left, there's a lot to check. And if he doesn't get to the board immediately, say he loses 20, 30 seconds, so he has 150 seconds at the start, possibly less. So he has really, let's say, like 2.5 minutes. He makes a move. He can't let his time completely run down because he doesn't know if he has time on the TTN board. And so he gets down to about 30 seconds. It seems really risky to use more than that. That was already very low time. He makes his move. He maybe has 2 minutes for the move. Maybe he has less. He switches over to the TTN board. I had made moves at similar times. So suddenly he is left with a situation where by the time he gets to the TTN board, he has 30 seconds to make a move. And he has a kind of straightforwardly winning position, but he ends up not finding it under the time pressure. All right, I missed that that Vid could just go 9 as well rather than go in 2, but I think it works out the same way, right? Smokes can now play in 5, he goes up 6-4, and Vid captures 1 back, which means it all comes down to the TTN game. And you'll notice Vid is quite low on time here, and well, maybe a bunch of moves had happened. Maybe Vid wasn't low on time. I just hadn't reset. And Smokes wins here, right? The game ended. And it seems like it should have been a pretty big Smokes advantage. First turn, three safe square, three blocks on the board. We didn't really look at the game at all, but you know, I think Vid took kind of safety where he could, like in 5 with 9-5 A4. But I didn't get much of a sense for this. It's very hard for me to look at a TTN board and immediately have a sense of what's it about. And Smokes gets the tie, and Smokes will advance. I think Smokes should be a really strong player in this format. He has very good quick instincts for positions. He's one of the best kind of 2-minute players. And there was a video a while ago of him playing some 2-minute games against Akiyama. He had some fun 2-minute games against Deli. Very even matchups both ways, as I recall. So he should be really good in this format, and I think he has a decent amount of TTN experience. Let's look. Okay. Not a million under the current format, but 200 games is, a lot more than I have. So not someone I look forward to seeing in this format, I think. Really challenging opponent. And I don't know who he's facing in the semifinals. This is his quarterfinals. One of the semifinals is me versus Akiyama. The other semifinals is Smokes versus someone. If the match already happened, I apologize for forgetting it. I haven't followed the games too closely. This is the second match I'm catching. Didn't catch Akiyama turds. Oh, I do have the Discord open. I could check. Alright, running slow because I have stuff open. Alright. Oh, yeah. Dalamar was beaten by Forky. So it's Forky versus Smokes, and myself versus Akiyama in the semifinals. Yeah, I did check that game briefly, actually. Should have remembered it. Alright, that's a video. Quick video. Great. Good work, everyone. I can go back to being passed out. Wonderful.